Welcome to another exciting episode. I'm your host for today, Paul, and today we are reviewing the film Ghostbusters Afterlife. Now, Justin went to go see this as well. Please check out his blog. See who you agree with, who you don't agree with. Now, this film is a direct sequel. It picks up right after. It takes place 32 years after the events of the second film. So, the female Ghostbusters film, much of you fans' delight, is not a part of this. So, and you know, that's a debate for another topic, another episode. So, here's where we get at. So, we throughout the previews, you kind of knew that this film was going to be somewhat passing of the torch because obviously the time has passed, but, and of course, Harold, his passing and everything like that. So you knew that if they were going to continue this franchise on, it would have to be a way to bring in the original cast and kind of pass the torch. And I felt like that's what they did up until the post-credit scenes. And we'll get to that in a minute. So let's talk about the plot. Instantly, the plot takes place in Oklahoma for the most part. And the film starts right off the bat that you see a character off to a distance, which you would assume by the presence and statue that it's Harold Ramis' character as Egon. But obviously, they use CGI so they keep you at a distance. It's literally not up until the end of this scene that you realize that it is who you think it is. And basically, he's fighting off something in this farm that we come to know that he went down there because all his data, all his research proves that something is going to happen in this Summersville, Oklahoma area. And nobody believes him, including the other three Ghostbusters, which to me is kind of weird. That, I mean, I know they get that they needed a plot going here, but if he picked up slightly after the events of the second film and picked up and went down to Somerville to figure out what's going on here or some sort of thing like that, the Ghostbusters are established. It wasn't like they were a new team on the block and nobody, including them, believed each other. They went through massive situations regarding saving New York City, which is very acknowledged in this film. So, Egon goes down there and he pretty much gives up his friends, his family. Nobody believes him, and he builds this farm basically as a gigantic trap because all his calculations are suggesting that something's still going to happen here. Fast forward the clock past that plot twist that doesn't quite make sense to me, but nevertheless, no film is perfect. It is revealed that Egon had a daughter, and she's under depression for all these years that he just picked up and left and could care less about him. So she's basically a single mom with two kids, and those two kids are played by Mackenzie Grace as Phoebe, and Finn Wolfhard, he plays Trevor. Carrie Coon plays Callie Spangler, the daughter. And she's a single mom of two, so, it's rough. And, it starts off, she basically gets informed that her father has passed away and they need to come down and sign some, documents and inheritance stuff. Of course, Callie thinks, she might inherit something because she has this envy against him because, once again, she is under the impression that he just picked up and left. Everybody is under this impression, including the other Ghostbusters, which, once again, just that aspect does not make sense to me. So, the family picks up and they head down to Summerville, Oklahoma. At first, they're shocked by that. They just inherit this farm. She doesn't tell them that they actually been evicted out of their apartment. So, when they do realize it, they stay home. They stay there and they realize they gotta live there. Trevor goes and has a crush on a girl at a local burger joint that he's doing anything in his power to get a date with. Phoebe, on the other hand, is a very scientific genius. And she's already well beyond her age and intelligence. But she goes to summer school. I believe it's summer school for the most part. And that's where you'll meet Gary Gruberson, played by Paul Rudd. Sexiest man alive for 2021, Paul Rudd. Instantly, he has a complete fetish with Ghostbusters, and he's been doing his own research on what many call earthquakes, but it makes no sense for earthquakes to happen here. As they all start to come together, Phoebe makes a friend called Podcast, played by Logan Kim, and they begin to find Egon's Ghostbuster stuff. Meanwhile, Trevor, at the same time, finds the vehicle, Echo 1. And, he's putting it together, re-putting it together, and making sure, it's all up to par. And, you get the one-liners, and everything like that. Perfect. Then the ghost busting starts to happen, and honestly, you see the three of them getting a little rough, with using the guns and the traps and even driving, because Trevor himself is only 15 years old, though he tells the girl that he wants to be with, who becomes the fourth Ghostbusters, and they're out there and they see what's all going on. Basically, it's kind of like the recycled storyline of the first film with the gatekeeper and the taskmaster or something like that. Now I'm drawing a blank because I'm like, it's one of those things that the gatekeeper and so it's the whole gatekeeper stuff. Let's just go with that. And he so the mom and Paul Rudd's character Gary gets possessed to become the gatekeepers, and they reunite. And they bring back I want to say the villain from the first film, if I'm not mistaken. And basically, so now it's up to the team, these four kids basically, to save the teacher, the mom, in the world. Phoebe calls upon the other Ghostbusters and what they know, and of course they give their remarks regarding it, but they still show up. The climatic part of the film, they show up and they join forces with the new and the old, and they're fighting once again. And the most touching part of this film was you get the close-up of Harold Ramis's character. And for all the Ghostbusters fanatics out there, they did this right. I think this part in my eyes. He didn't talk. And please, I know this is spoiler. I'll make sure it's in the descriptions below. I even teared up some because the guy's dead. He passed away, and you didn't get that third Ghostbusters film that we always wanted. But this did happen, and it's a touching moment because now the daughter, Callie, is no longer possessed, and she sees her dad fighting the fight as a ghost. And during the film, she holds this complete resentment against him, but she then herself discovers that he's been watching her grow up as he's trying to figure out what to do and how to save the world. So she realizes that, and it's a very touching moment when those two reunite. And like I said, he doesn't say a word. He nods to his friends when they say they're sorry for how they believed what might have transpired, and everything like that. We then get to this hug it out scene between father and daughter, and it was actually very touching. It was a good send off. In the film, and basically that's the most point right there. And you see the Echo One on the bridges back to New York, and boom, it pops up for Harold, and you play the Ghostbusters theme song, and there's the end. So you think. You then get some post-credit scenes. You actually get two. You get a mid-credit scene, which is really just Venkman and Dan. They're just doing this card thing, and just a good little joke inside, played by Bill Murray's character. And it's actually the only cameo that Sonora Weaver has in the film. The second post-credit scene does have me kind of confused, because this whole time I believe that they are building to passing the torch. They have to. Well, they don't have to, but it's all up to. But the Ernie Hudson caster, Winston, is having a I guess like a meeting, not a meeting with the secretary of the Ghostbusters, and he's talking about what it means to be a Ghostbusters. And even though he made his fortune after Ghostbusters, there was something about being a Ghostbuster that changed him, and he wants to bring it back. And that's where the film, the credit scene, ends with him putting his hand on Echo One. I still believe they're going to bring the young cast in, but as for a clear-cut passing of the torch, it more kind of felt like they were reminding us that the team is still here. So, if there is going to be what is now considered a fourth film, which nothing has been confirmed, then we'll get our answer of what storyline can they go with now with the new team, and maybe still have the old team involved of kind of coaching them, because we did see in this film that they're rough, so they need training. There was some good one-liners, good laughs, very emotional with the whole situation that was presented. They did a good job at that. At least the laughs were there. The story, made sense. Couple little plot holes, but that's still nitpicking. as the case may be. So you just kind of get over that. I think this was a great film. I think if you haven't watched it already, go see it, because it did this film series justice. In the end, I am probably giving it an A as well, because I believe Justin gave it an A as well, because I felt like it was a great movie, a great third film, to be honest with you, and a film that we will never get a clear-cut part 3 that we wanted from the original team, but this was pretty damn close as you can get it. So I hope you enjoy my review on Ghostbusters Afterlife. Ugh, man, God, I can't talk. Like I said, Justin has it on our blog site, so please check it out at smashwritings.com. And until next time,